Welcome back to Market on Close. I'm Renita Young, and I'm in for Oliver Rennick. So let's finish off this day with a little talk about real estate. And to do that, I'm going to bring in Happy Nest founder Jesse Prince. Thank you so much for being here. Let's kick off our conversation. Of course, let's kick off our conversation by talking about what Happy Nest does. Tell us a little bit more. We know you're very similar to a couple of other apps with the same name, but let us know what your enterprise does.
So Happy Nest empowers everyone to live financially healthier lives, and the way that we do that is through commercial real estate investments. We allow anyone with a cell phone to invest in our portfolio of high quality real estate for as little as $10. I started the company in 2017 with my co-founder Lee Sessa, and the intent was to empower people to access investments that were once typically reserved only for the wealthy. And so to date, we've grown 350% year over year. We've got over 15,000 active customers, and we've invested in over 15 commercial real estate assets. So
that's a pretty interesting business model, pretty interesting idea, and it sounds like you guys are just trying to increase the barriers or release or remove the barriers of entry to be able to invest in the real estate market. Now, how exactly does it work? You said that people are able to invest as little as $10 when it comes to investing in real estate. Can you explain exactly how it works?
Right, for sure. So through our application, we actually sell shares of our public non-listed REIT. We have a public offering that we filed with the SEC in 2019. And our application is utilized to set up your bank account, invest as little as $10 or as much as $50,000 and buy shares of our REIT, and we take the capital and then deploy it out into the sector. So right now we see a lot of opportunity, especially with the economic headwinds, to find value. There are a lot of people sitting on the sideline waiting for things to change, but typically adversity breeds opportunity, and we see an opportunity to actually uncover great value in assets that still have positive fundamentals, but are having trouble either finding finance or can't find buyers.
All right. And a part of this also is that you're watching the housing market, you're watching home prices. Are you seeing a cool down in prices right now?
Well, I think that the natural laws of supply and demand are being impacted by the fact that the calculus around the standard American household kitchen table is that it's more cost effective to stay put than to sell their home. So even though the Fed has raised the interest rates in an effort to cool the housing market and bring costs down, what you're seeing is housing prices in a lot of places are remaining stable because the demand is actually low, but the supply is low. So it's a balancing act, and it's interesting, and I can't wait to see what happens over the next couple of quarters.
Remaining stable. I guess that is not necessarily promising, but comforting at the moment. But are there any areas in particular that stand out to you within the real estate sector in the United States?
Well, the office sector is kind of scary right now. You're seeing a lot of negative news in that space due to high vacancies in our great American cities. And so although they're facing a significant crisis in the office space, I think that history has shown us that when there is crisis, there's an opportunity for people with patience and vision and capital to come in and reposition these assets and turn them into something that is actually valuable for both shareholders and our great cities. And so I think that's where Happy Nest comes in. We are looking at the office space heavily right now because we are conscious capitalists. We believe that we can do great for our shareholders and at the same time breathe life back into the great cities that are losing both residents and business. And this is the time for us to put our money where our mouth is and be proactive. And so we are keeping a pulse on that part of the market.
Lastly, the next, I guess, minute and a half, 2 minutes or so. When we look at everything we're seeing and hearing about a possible slowdown, of course, what are some of the indicators that you're looking for a possible slowdown in this market?
Well, I am looking for banks to get back into the game on the lending side. But in the bigger picture, what I've seen is that there is opportunity for smaller funds like Happy Nest to fill a gap that was once that was left, excuse me, by the banking sector kind of pulling out of the commercial real estate space. So obviously interest rates impact pricing. So I'm happy that the Fed has decided to pause. However, again, you're finding nice risk-adjusted returns on assets with great fundamentals these days. So with the banks not being in the game, we have the opportunity to come in and fill that hole and create great shareholder benefits.
All right, we'll leave it there. Jesse Prince, founder of Happy Nest, thank you so much for joining us.